Welcome to Lidwig channel. Today we will see the lesson After 20 Years by O. Henry. His nightly patrol gives a glimpse into a calmer, more intimate part of the city. One, why do you think the man in the doorway needs to reassure the policeman that everything is alright? The man is the doorway, later identified as Silky Pop, realized he might appear suspicious as he standing alone aside outside a closed hardware store late at night. Aware of how his presence could raise questions, he assured the policeman to avoid any unnecessary scrutiny, given that he is there for a sentimental reaction, keeping a promise to an old friend he wants to come across as harmless. Next one, do you think that the relationship the narrator had with his friend Jimmy Wells was informal and intimate? The relationship between Pop and Jimmy was both informal and intimate. They grew up together just like two brothers and shared a strong bond in their youth. The pact to meet again after 20 years, despite being out of touch, reflects that closeness and loyalty. Pop descriptions of Jimmy as staunchest old chum and his confidence that Jimmy would remember and honor their agreements further emphasized their friendship depth. What impact does a change in weather cause on the life in the street? Explained with an instance from the story. The chilly, windy, and rainy weather contributes to the deserted feeling of the street, making the atmosphere lonely and reflective. The cold drizzle drives people off the street, creating a quiet, almost haunting environment with only the occasional passerby with only the occasional passerby. For example, the text describes how the few foot passengers astir in that quarter hurried away. Inclement weather affects the liveliness of the street. Fifth one, according to Jimmy Wells, what are the way in which the passage of time can and cannot affect people? For Jimmy, times can change people's circumstance, including their look, height, and success levels, but not necessarily their moral character. Pop hints that Jimmy reminds a Jimmy reminded a brother and likely did not experience the same adventure as he did out west. However, Jimmy's loyalty and sense of duty are constraints, demonstrating that time did not change his commitment to his role as a policeman or his moral integrity. Comment on the surprise elements in the story. The surprise elements in After 20 Years is the story twist ending a hallmark of O. Henry style. The reader expects a heartfelt reunion, but instead Pop learns that his friend Jimmy is now a policeman who recognizes Pop as a wanted criminal. The twist unfolds when Pop realizes that Jimmy is actually an officer sent to arrest him and that Jimmy himself could not bring himself to make the arrest. This unexpected twist reveals Jimmy's loyalty to both his friendships and his duty, adding depth to the story. If the story was told from Jimmy Wells' perspective, would it be different? Why do you think so? Yes, the story would likely be difficult from Jimmy's perspective. As a policeman, he would grapple with the internal conflict between his friendship with Pop and his duty to uphold the law. This perspective would add insight into his decision making process, showing his internal joys in seeing his friend and his shock upon recognizing Pop's criminal background. Jimmy's perspective would give reader a view into his moral struggle, perhaps making the story more poignant as it reveals his hesitation and ultimate decisions to have his friend arrested. Why do you think Jimmy Wells sent another policeman to arrest Pop? What does this tell you about Jimmy's character? Jimmy sends another policeman to arrest Pop because he feels personally conflicted. While he recognizes his duty as an officer, his deep friendship with Pop make it emotionally challenging to arrest him directly. This action reveals Jimmy's compassionate and loyal nature. He doesn't want to betray his friend outright but also cannot ignore his professional responsibility. Jimmy's decisions reflect his internal struggles between personal loyalty and professional duty, highlighting his moral integrity and his sense of duty. Thank you viewers. Thanks for watching this video.